My parameters for knives should be, for my personal survival knife, should be around 5 inches or more. I like 5-inch blade, 5-inch handle, full tang. All right. If you stick with that, it narrows down a lot of things. I'm not saying that there aren't other knives that do not have a full tang that would not hold up. But again, in a last-ditch effort to save my life, I want something that's properly heat-treated, properly sharpened, ready to go at all times. Full tang knife will not break, or will have less likely chance to break. Okay, I'm not saying you can't break these, because you can. All right, something with a grip that fills my hand. Okay, this happens to be the Mark I Scout. This is one of my blades. This is the blade that I carry in the woods all the time. It will cut, it will slice, and if I had to baton, it will chop. Okay, the 5-inch blade gives me more than enough, and it's 3/16 inch thick, so I don't have to worry about being delicate with it. This is 154 cm, so it is stainless. If you want to go with carbon, go with carbon. I don't have a problem with that. So carbon steel knives, in my opinion, hold an edge longer. But again, if we're talking about survival knives, it's not about sticking around and doing bushcraft. It's just about using this tool or this implement to get us out of Dodge. Right. So this is my ideal survival knife, something of this size. I also have something called the HUNTSMAN. Same thing. This is a 1/4 inch thick, made out of D2 orange, right? So probably not for any type of tactical environments, but this is a big freaking knife. Okay, I did it in orange, so if I dropped it in the woods, I would be able to see it. Again, one of my knives. And again, when I say 5 inches, it could be longer. We get to the point when longer becomes a machete, and I'm going to do a separate video on machetes. All right, this is the Wilderness Bowie. This knife right here is 3/16 inch thick. You're looking at an 8-inch blade and a 5-inch handle, so it's pretty stout. I called it the Wilderness Bowie. This is one of my own. Again, you can go to threeriverblades.com and check it out. It comes in either a saber grind or a full flat grind, and it's made of 52-100, which is a ball bearing steel, so pretty tough steel if you're looking for a big knife. What I like about this is now chopping becomes a little bit easier, but when you do chopping, now slicing might be a little bit harder. Okay, so the longer you go, or the longer the length is, better for chopping, but then you have to create a balance. All right, so let's look at the stuff that's more store-bought. All right, and then we'll go over it. All right, so in the Marine Corps, we are not issued, but we use KABAR knives. Now, KABAR knives are great for a lot of utility tasks, and you can use this, and I know a lot of people use this for survival knives. The only thing I don't like about this is that it has a rat tail tang, or a stick tang, as you can see right there. All right, so it can be a point of weakness. I know people that have cut the guard. The guard becomes sort of useless in that type of environment. We're talking about, can I make shelter? Can I gut a deer? Can I do all those things? Yeah, you can, and you could also use it as a fighting knife, but probably not the most ideal or optimal for that type of environment. And I'll show you a couple other things, such as fighting knives or military knives. All right, double-edged dagger, not so much. All right, good fighting knife, definitely a trench fighting knife, but if it's not full tang and if it has two sides, it's not going to allow me to baton. All right, so maybe not so much on the SOG, but let's talk about something really cool. And I know you guys have these from the 80s. This is the original fakey Chinese or Taiwan Rambo knife. So this is what I meant about manufacturers. Now, obviously this is a joke. This is a kid's toy. It's still sharp. I used to use it as a child. Can opener, fake saw. It's not really a saw, and it has the handle to open up, and you can put stuff inside. Ideally, this is just screwed into the handle, so not the best, but I do like the fact that it did come with a sharpening stone. All right, so that's kind of cool, little added extras. And as we go along, we're going to talk a little bit more about it. All right, when I talk about big chopping, all right, so some people will carry something like this in the woods. All right, so I'm not Davy Crockett. I like big knives. I like to carry knives like this, maybe when I'm camping or hunting buffalo, but you can use it for chopping. You can use it for cutting, shelter building, but slicing is probably going to be a little bit of an issue, again, because of its size. Again, what a lot of people do is they take these big knives with them and then they have a smaller pocket knife. So again, to each his own kind of thing. That's made by Cold Steel. All right, a couple other options. Now this is, I think, the US military's pilot survival knife, and again, survival is relative. So small blade, this is about a 4-inch blade. Again, I would want a 5-inch blade. It has, this is just a groove maker. It's not really that phosphate coating, I think it is. Leather stacked handle, and this is a replica, guys, and they did a shitty job on the replica handle, as you can see there. This is made by Ontario. Again, stick tang. Stick tang is not terrible, again, but I want a full tang knife if I'm going to go and do survival stuff. Again, this comes with a sharpening stone, so I really like that. Some lanyard, and on the back it has this nice metal piece. It stops the knife from poking through. Also, it keeps it from rolling up. Now, I will tell you some things about leather sheets. They will get damaged, they will roll up, and if you had to survive on your one knife, do you want to trust leather? Okay, that's something to think about. I love leather. I love leather so much. I have it in a lot of my very expensive knives. This is one of the knives that I carry with me when I go into the field. This is a BOLO design from Bark River. This is a huge BOLO design. I love this knife. This thing right here is more of a machete, and we're going to have a video on machetes as well, so please stay tuned. This is something that I would use to replace an axe. All right, a lot of people in the Amazon or Philippines would use something like this, and what this does is it can be a one-tool option. Again, the problem I have with this is that it's leather and it's very, very heavy. Depending on other gear that you have, you might want to consider those options. Now, let's talk about some tops knives. I'm not going to go to all these knives, but I just want to go through a few. Tops knives, this is the TAC Ops, all right? This is a very proprietary knife. It's very comfortable in the hand. It comes in either a tanto point and or a hunter's point or just a regular sweeping belly. I will say that depending on your needs or likes, this is a fantastic survival knife. It is a very long blade. Let's see, we're looking at 9 inches, almost 10 inches if you wanted to go all the way to the hilt. So that's a 10-inch blade. What I like about this, again, full tangle all the way through, 1/4 inch. Tops makes a great product. I hate these things. So what this does right here is to be able to pick up pots and pans or bales, that kind of thing. I don't like any divots, cuts, or creases in my blades at the front end. I don't care if they're in the back, I just don't like them in the front. The biggest failing, in my opinion, about Tops knives are the sheets. They are made of this Cordura. Some people love them, some people hate them. You can latch it to a pack. I find that they are kind of cheap for the amount of money that you're paying for Tops knives. You should be able to get a Kydex sheet for this. And I know there's aftermarkets that will do that for you. Okay, so that kind of thing. Here's another Tops knives. This is what they consider to be a survival knife. On this side, you actually, it comes with this. I don't know if they're still making this. A green chem light. Inside here, you have a fire starter. All right, so you have the striker and you have a couple magnesium bars, and then inside here you have a sharpener, okay, to sharpen your knife. Now let's take a look at the knife. Again, I hate these sheets. I'm just not a big fan. Look, it already broke. All right, so that's what I'm talking about. These sheets are not that great. They are what they are. The knives are awesome. I love Tops knives. So let's look at this. All right, this is called the SURV-TAC 7, and it was designed by Joseph Tedai. If you don't know who Joseph Tedai was, he was a special forces guy that was on, I think, dual survival, had a big attitude problem and dealt with Cody Lundin, and of course the two clashed and it turned into a freaking soap opera. unfortunately. But he designed this knife based on a couple other principles. The idea is that you can take all these latching points and make this a big spear. It has a breaker in the back. It has a saw, which is functional. It does have this, I think is either a wire cutter or again picking up your bail. This is one of those fantasy knives, right? So I have a nice long blade, great. I have a blade here and I have a blade on top. Much like Michael Hawk, who's also a survival expert, and I think he's an Army Ranger medic officer, I'm not really sure. The idea behind this is that, well, if this gets dull, then you can use this point, and then if this gets dull, you can use this point. And it's a lot of points to sharpen on a knife. When it comes to survival, simple is the best, all right? I like the saw that's on there, but again, this is a big chunky knife. I don't need a breaker in the back. I'm not breaking anything that I'm aware of. Some people like it to break rocks or chip rocks, or I'm not doing flint mapping. I don't know why that's there, and a lot of times what this does is it digs into your elbow. So if you're riding this way, if the knife is up high, it'll dig into your elbow, cause problems there. So I'm not a big fan of that. I bought the knife simply because it was a one-time piece. That's what Tops does, is they get a show on the internet or whatever, and you know, they got to sell products. So this to me is one of the simplest knives that Tops make that I love. All right, the Airwolf. This is one of the most simple, comfortable knives, and it's not promoted. It has a gray finish on it, and these are all 1095, by the way. A very grippy surface, has a little bit of jimping, nothing fantastic about it. These will come off if you want. Has a drop point, simple blade, and a lanyard loop in the back. This is it right here. This is a fantastic, fantastic blade. Now again, hate the sheath, but that's the way Tops do it. They also usually have a sheath that comes with a whistle. I took all the whistles off because if I'm going to use that, it's going to jingle around in there, and I don't like that. All right. Let's talk about some of the favorites. The Mora knives. Okay, I have a bunch of Mora knives here. Now, this is where you're going to hear all the controversy and the anger and the hate. This is a Mora, I think this is carbon steel, plastic handle. Now, understand with Moras, they only come to about here. It's not a full tang knife in any way, shape, or form. It is super lightweight, which I'll give you guys that. This is another one, has a nice rubber grippy handle. This one is carbon steel. Again, they all come in these envelope plastic sheets. They're usually very, very cheap. You can get them on Amazon or eBay, or just from the Mora company itself. This is the Bushcrafter Black. It's a little bit thicker than the other ones. It is carbon steel, it is coated, and it does come with a sharpening stone and a fire steel. Now, as far as a camping knife, I have no problem with it. So if I have adequate food, if I know I'm going to go fishing, these are fantastic fishing knives, because if you lose one and it falls over on the side of the boat, you only pay $20 for it. You'll get another one, no big deal, that kind of thing. They come in different colors and different styles, that kind of thing. But because of the fact that it's mostly plastic and it does not come with a full tang, I'm going to say pass on that. All right, just me. If you have someone that does not know how to use knives, it's a great starter knife. Fantastic. So someone that like is not aware of chopping and splitting, and I mean, this is a great knife if you're going to cook with. Ideally, I would pair something like this up with a machete. Good to go all the way around. All right. Let's talk about knives that have survival kits on them. Now, this is an SE 5. All right, and you can buy this whole kit, and it has add-ons. All right, this is the SE 5 in green. This is a 1/4 of an inch thick, very good handle. This is a bomber freaking survival knife. All right, so if you weren't going to buy one of mine, this is the knife I would go with. Most recommended, SE 5. It comes with a Kydex sheath, and then you can buy this attachment that you can put it onto your webbing gear or your equipment. It also has a snap here, which makes it very convenient. So you can either add this here if you don't want to. It has a lanyard. Let's say you're in a power jumper, you could do that. What's also cool is you can purchase these things separately from ESSE, and inside here you can put a survival tin. All right, so that's pretty cool. So what I like about these knives, and this is the SE5 and this is the SE6. All right, same type of scenario, same setup. Difference is 1 inch in blade. All right, I like this one. This one is thinner than the SE5. It's not as thick, but excellent bomber blade, 6-inch blade. This is as good as it's gonna get. Same thing, I ordered the extra parts on it because I wanted to have the setup, and I also wanted to have, let's get this out of here, my survival tin in there. Okay, and again, you could buy the survival tins from ESSE as well if you wanted to. They already come pre-stocked. So to me, these two knives wind up being excellent as far as survival knives. All right, they have the right blade, they have the right blade stock, they're carbon steel, they even have a little bit added. You could wear it on your belt, you could also wear it as a on your kit, on a tactical kit as well. Some people like this one. This one's actually really cool. I've taken this one with me a few times for hunting. This is the SE4. Again, good knife, very small. All right, this does a lot of things, but it won't do a lot of good chopping. And what I mean by chopping is you're actually taking this and you're hitting it with the back of the knife. All right, this is great for cutting tasks. It's also great for slicing, but it doesn't do chopping very well, only because of its size. Here's another ESSE knife right here, pretty cool. All right, I think this is the ESSE Laser Strike. All right, pretty cool, very comfortable handle. What's cool about this sheath right here is it comes with this little washer. The washer actually acts like a screwdriver, so you can take the handles off, and then when you take the handles off, what'll happen is there's supposed to be some like fluff or tinder or something like that in there, so you can do that. Bow drill divots on a knife, I think, are ridiculous. I don't like when they do it. I don't want to use my only blade handle and destroy it by sticking a piece of wood in there and destroying my knife. I'll just make something else like a bearing block. No big deal. Lanyard hole, very, very good right there. All right, couple other options. Let's see. This is also another good one, cold steel. Let's talk back about cold steel. All right, this is the SRK, right? Excellent blade. You saw one of these on my kit. Again, I don't know where this ends. This is a rubber handle, very, very comfortable, very useful. The blade length is 5-6 inches. It comes with an excellent sheath, right? Really lightweight, good to go. Again, not full tang, okay? Let's talk about some other things that are my favorites. This is kind of cool. This is the, I think the Trail Master, all right? I had one of these when I was a kid, and they went out of stock for a while, and then they came back, so I bought a couple more. I love the Trail Master. Again, excellent blade. You're looking at, let's see, this is about a 10-inch blade, 10-inch blade length. It does have a guard. It does have a rubber handle, so what that does is it allows me not to have this slip out of my hand, but it's a big old Bowie knife. Remember what I said about Bowie knives. Again, your choices, your options, not full tang. And then what I had done is I just added this little pouch here. You could put some extra survival stuff in there, and it's on the back. All right, so Cold Steel makes some good products. Let's see, some of the things, again, and this is one of the things I want to talk about, was the Bushcraft knife. Let's talk a little bit about this. This is a Bushcraft knife. It actually says Bushcraft. This is a SPYDERCO. It's very, very expensive. The handle, full tang knife, very, very comfortable. Because it has a Scandi grind, it's mostly made for wood processing, okay, mostly, all right? Not so much a good chopper, but will work for other tasks. There's another one. I don't know if this is yeah, this is it. This is the Pathfinder School. This is when the PSK1, I believe. Excellent knife, really nice micarta. It's like a broom handle. That's how nice I like that. Carbon steel, comes with the Kydex sheath. You can get a fire steel with it. Excellent, excellent knife. On the back, it has a leather piece so you can hang it on your belt. Great knife. I'm not sure I am very happy with the Scandi grind. Again, to each his own. I'm not out there to bushcraft, and this is another one. This is LT Wright. LT Wright makes a lot of the knives that are super bushcrafty. I like it. It's a little bit thinner, but really can hold on to that. Full tang knife. This is a honer, and then on this side is a fire steel. So these are just options, guys. I'm just giving you like a lot of different options. Here's another one right here. All right, I don't know who makes this one. It looks like Blind Horse Knives, but again, this is a fantastic knife. Full tang. You can see it's about a 5-inch. This has a saber grind, so I'm a big fan of that, but this one comes with a leather sheath. Leather sheaths are great until they wear out, then they're no longer good. This is one of my favorites. This is a Winkler knives too, again in that black coating. Excellent knife. He's an excellent knife maker. He also makes great tomahawks, and the sheath, although leather, works very well. He has Kydex sandwiched with leather on the outside and has a unique design where it has 4 corners or 4 pockets, so you can wear it scout carry, you can wear it up and down as well. So those are really good options right there. I wanted to see if I had one with a saw on the back. I think this one does. Yeah. So this is again Topps CQT Sear. It's supposed to be a sear training knife. Not terrible. It's a little bit lighter. This saw is not going to do well to chop down trees or anything like that, but what it will do is it will make notches for traps and things like that. You try not to get too fancy on these survival knives, and I know that as a knife maker myself, a lot of people, what we're doing is we're creating things for you guys to purchase. If we don't sell the knives, then it's kind of useless. All right, so what we're trying to do is make a sale, but we also want something that works, that's very practical. Any of the knives that you see on this table, with the exceptions of the ones that I spoke about, would do you good in a survival situation. In my opinion, based on where I live in my location, like I said, I'm looking for something that's 5-inch handle, 5-inch blade, or longer. 5 to 10 inches fine. And what I want is either a carbon steel or a thick knife. I want 3/16, 6 or 1/4-inch knife. I want something that's easy to sharpen in the steel. And then also, if I wanted to add a little pouch on there, I want to be able to have that capability, okay? If I don't put it on, that's fine, but again, I want to have that capability. So, all right, guys, so I hope this gives you a little bit more idea. I hope it didn't confuse you even more. I didn't go through all the knives because there's way too many. But I just want you guys to start thinking about your survival knife. If you had to leave right now at this minute in your bug out bag, what knife are you carrying? And if you don't have a knife, please go to threeriverblades.com. Check out all the knives that I have up there. I have many colors, many selections, and different steels. And we'll see if we can help you out. Also, like, subscribe, share this video. Go to 3 River Kydex, check out all the stuff I have up there. Also, if you are not a Patreon, become a Patreon. Only costs you $1 a month. And go through all the social media outlets that I have down below, all the links. And I'll put a link to Amazon where I purchased most of these knives. Go over there, check it out, and see what I got. And, you know, it works out. In the long run, I get like two pennies or something like that. So thank you very much, guys, and as always, please stay safe.